Hi everybody. How you doing today? So I'm in Paris as I was last week and as I was on Thursday when I played the two-piano concert with Thomas Enko here from Paris. Thanks to all of you who joined us for that concert. That was incredibly fun.
Hi everybody.
As usual, I need to turn my audio off. There we go. Anyway, yeah, that was incredibly fun to play for you guys and really fun to play with Thomas. And I think just continues to be a really rewarding experience to be able to play real live concerts for you guys in this strange and distant time. So thanks to all of you who joined us. And hi to Alan Haggard and Julie Archibald and Frank Geyer, Mike Seitz, Silvano. Hope you're gonna do some more drawing today, Silvano. Great to see you. Hi Joyce and Daniele and Michael. Hi Carol. Hi Ago. It's so cool to see you all today because, I never know if you're gonna be here. Hi Grace. Hi Patricia. Hi Paul, who's in Hawaii. Hi Teresa. Yeah, great to have you all here. So, what are we going to do today? Daniele Prolong says, "Hi Dan, what a treat last Thursday. In Thomas, you have got yourself a younger musical brother. With eyes closed, I found myself guessing at times who was playing, even though I like to believe your playing is distinctive. Autumn Leaves was so completely different from the version you played solo here with a surprise major chord thrown in. As for Take the A Train, a wild ride of creativity. Thank you both so much again." Well, thank you very much, Daniela. And it's true, I really feel musical kinship with Thomas. One thing that we didn't mention is we both have moms who are opera singers. And, another thing is because of that and also just because of our musical paths, we both have a lot of classical music influence. And I know what you're talking about in terms of that major chord. In fact, if I remember correctly, on our concert on Thursday, I played the first melody, and Thomas was playing was accompanying, and he was playing chords. And so I think we played in G minor, and we went. He went, and that was just his choice. And I was like, wow, how cool to play a C major there, which I think is the chord you're referring to in your comment. And so we just stuck with that for the whole thing, and that was completely unplanned. I mean, pretty much everything was unplanned. And that's one of the really beautiful things about doing these live duo concerts is that it's a true interaction. And that's something very precious in these times, again, when we're very isolated. Aigo Abrahmanova says, "Audio seems to be ahead of video. Is it just my stream?" Well, let me know. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, you're right. Let me fix that for you. Here we go. I'm going to undelay the video. And there you go. How's that now? Are we synced? Are we back on sync? In sync? That's one of the things I love about this format is if there are any problems, you can let me know and I can fix them. Paul James Brown says, "Hey Dan, it was Bud Powell's birthday yesterday. Why not do a tribute to him?" Was it really Bud Powell's birthday yesterday? I don't know how you keep all these things in your mind, Paul. But I never need an excuse to play some Bud Powell. Let's play some Bud Powell. That's a great idea. How about a really great rhythm changes that he wrote, and rhythm changes in E flat, which is pretty unusual. This is called Wail, W-A-I-L. Here we go. That was Bud Powell's Whale, one of my favorite rhythm changes melodies ever. And took it through a few different keys, which was really fun. Thanks for that recommendation, Paul James Brown. That was a good one. Jan Zamoski says, when you and Thomas were talking about the difference in attack and decay between percussive and wind instruments, I thought of music critic Gene Lee's anecdote regarding Bill Evans. On one occasion, I kidded Bill about his rocking a finger on a key on a long note at the end of a phrase. After all, the hammer has already left the string. One has no further physical contact with the sound. Don't you know the piano has no vibrato, I said. Yes, Bill responded, but trying for it affects what comes before it in the phrase. Wow, that's cool. I remember seeing the great classical pianist Pierre Leroy-Mar play, I think it was a Beethoven concerto in Boston, and he came to the end of the phrase and he went like that. And I think it's beyond what Bill said. I think it's beyond that it just affects what came before it in the phrase or what came after. I think I believe in some kind of actual communication with the listener when one does that. I'm not sure it would work on a recording, but if you're in a concert hall and you see that, you might actually find yourself hearing some vibrato. Joyce Glasgow says, please sing a song or a vocal piano improvisation. Hey, why not? What a great idea. You know, I learned the lyrics to one of my favorite songs this week. Actually, I learned them a long time ago, but I tried to actually refresh them in my mind this week. I don't think I've ever sung this for you. I'm pretty sure I haven't. I'm sure you're familiar with Joni Mitchell's song, Both Sides Now. Such a beautiful song. Tell me if I've sung that before for you. I don't think I have, but I'm gonna try to sing that for you now. I don't even know what my key is, but let's try this. Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and they snow on everyone. So many things I could have done, but clouds got in the way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, that dizzy dancing way that you feel when every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show, and you leave them laughing when you go. But if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at life that way. But now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads and tell me that I've changed. But something's lost and something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life. I really don't know life. I really don't know life at all. So, I had never sung that for you, right? I love that song. I think Joni Mitchell wrote it when she was like 21 years old, which is pretty amazing. Thanks a lot, you guys. Thanks for your kind comments. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I still need to get myself a vocal mic. That would help a lot. Molly Shen says, wonderful, makes me thirst for Case of You. Yeah, I should learn Case of You. That's an amazing song. I actually used to play that with Michael Winther, a New York singer. He watched the live stream on Thursday. It was nice to see him there, but we used to play that together. Dave Kaufman says, beautifully done. I once saw a performance by Kenny Werner at the Blue Note. At one point, he mentioned that he was going to cover a song by his all-time favorite artist. He let the thought dangle for a moment and let the audience fill in the blanks, Monk or Bill Evans. As it turns out, Joni Mitchell is his favorite artist. Yeah, I mean, she's got to be on the top of most people's list. The songs that I should really learn are the songs from what's the album called? The name is escaping me now. The one with Jaco Pastorius. Please help me from the death of my brain. Anyway, the songs on the album are just so unbelievably profound. Hard to cover, I think, because they're less kind of song forms, and they're more like almost long form poetry with a musical phrasing, but they're much less structured as traditional songs. Not Court and Spark. Hejira, yes, thank you. Thank you, Steve Cantor. Thank you, Michael Loftus. Thanks, Joyce Glasgow. Hejira, yeah, that's the one. That's an unbelievable album. I mean, most of her albums are fantastic, but that one just absolutely blows my mind. Silvano Rafa says, how about some Bach followed by improvisation? That's a great idea. You know what? How about Variation 25 from the Goldberg Variations? I haven't played that one in a while. I hope I can remember it, because sometimes it's easy to take a wrong turn in that one. But that is, that's the variation that has been described as the Black Pearl of the Goldberg Variations. I think that was Wanda Landowska's description. She was the first real prominent artist to champion the Goldberg Variations in a recording format. She recorded them on harpsichord several times. A precursor definitely to Glenn Gould making them so famous. So, okay, I'm gonna try Variation 25. This is the most harmonically fascinating variation of the Goldberg Variations, and it's hard to even know what to say about it. Here we go, Variation 25. So, variation 25 from the Goldberg variations. You know, followed by an improvisation, of course, using the same harmonies as Bach. Well, not exactly the same harmonies, using the same kind of abstract, large-scale harmonic structure, but inventing my own harmonies moving through that. Frank Geyer says, I'm doubly speechless. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Steve Cantor says, oh, the first chord of the improvised response to the variation was perfect. Thanks. Maybe I'll talk about that for a second. I like to think of harmony as consisting of, shall we say, bricks, kind of stationary places, and arrows, things that point at the bricks. Or they can point towards another arrow, too. And one of the things that I find interesting is when you combine arrows and bricks. So if I go like this, I'm combining a question, an arrow is kind of like a question, this one, with its answer. But both at once gives a really interesting kind of ambiguous sound, and even better when it's major instead of minor. And of course, there are all kinds of different arrows that you can use, and so, you know, maybe one of the most dissonant would be something like this. Because this points to this, but it's very dissonant against, it's like the question and the answer are very dissonant against each other. So that's pretty interesting, because you can get a lot of really dense dissonance, but dissonance that makes sense. That's actually coming from a place of integrity. Mark Sophia says, Dan, have you heard the Goldberg Variations recording on piano made in 1928 by Rudolf Serkin? I have not, actually. It predates Landowska and is quite good. He was about 24, 25 at the time. I would love to hear that. I'm going to make a note of to check that out. Rudolf Serkin's recording of the Goldbergs in 1928. I didn't know that existed. I'm ashamed to say. Thanks for telling me about that. All right. George Ackman says, hey Dan, I keep wondering, how do you memorize so many things? And most importantly, how do you make sure it's there when you need it? Well, I mean, I don't feel like I've memorized that many things. There are people who, you know, they're classical musicians who have like unbelievable amounts of repertoire at their fingertips. I've worked on certain things hard, and also with jazz tunes, once you have learned maybe 100 of them in all keys, it becomes much easier to learn like another 100 for some reason. And it becomes much easier to pick up many more of them. And I think it's because they're all coming from a similar language. You know, how about we play something that's not coming really from that language? I played this in a live stream a few months ago, but I think I'd like to play it again. Is this song composition by the great Wayne Shorter. It's called Fall. And I was asked by a friend of mine who's actually who works in the jazz business in New York. His name is Jesse Markowitz. I was asked to play on an album that that came out for Wayne Shorter's birthday, which just happened. And what he did is he asked a whole bunch of artists that he was interested in to record one of Wayne's songs, one of Wayne's compositions. I mean, Wayne Shorter is one of the greatest composers, full stop, of the 20th century, absolutely. And you know, not only for jazz formats, but he wrote for classical ensembles as well. And I really love his albums like Atlantis that use synthesizers and that, you know, are very kind of forward-thinking compositionally. I would even say really ambitious. Anyway, yeah, Wayne has all these fantastic compositions, and he asked a whole bunch of different musicians to record them. And that includes Wayne himself. Wayne's on one of the tracks. And one of the tracks is mine, playing Fall. And I'm super honored to be on the album. Worth checking out. So I'm going to play Fall. I'm going to play Fall for you guys. Here we go. David Shine says, dissonance, a new term? I don't know what that refers to. Hi, David. Okay, here's Fall. That was Wayne Shorter's Fall with a little bit of piano preparation, otherwise known as, what is this called? Blue tack, they call it in the UK. Yeah, that was fun. Hi, Freda. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you're doing well. Hope you guys are doing well in the United States, because it's pretty scary over there right now. Wow. And I'm probably going to return pretty soon. I want to return to vote. Definitely going to make sure I vote and encourage others to do so as well. Hi, Kristen Berardi, who's listening from Australia. Great to have you with us, Kristen. She's an amazing singer, and some of you may remember her from when she sang from Australia and controlled my disc clavier in New York via this web interface I wrote for her. George Ackman says, for every fall, there should be a minor fall. That's great. It's referring to my song, Minor Fall. Joyce Glasgow says, can't you vote from there? Yeah, I could. I could actually. Yeah, but I kind of feel like I should vote in person. Okay. Mary Leah Vitito Reese says, do another one with her. I think she's referring to Kristen Berardi. Yeah, I would love that. I'd really like to do it again, and that's something I can do once I get back to New York and I have my disc clavier. Okay, what should we do now? I think I want to do a free improvisation. Yeah, that would be fun. And maybe I'll put this mute back in the piano, actually. Does anybody have a key that they'd like me to play in? And a time signature? And while you're at it, maybe we'll do a theme too. Maybe you could give me 5 numbers between 1 and 12. We'll do a chromatic theme. 5 numbers between 1 and 12. And a key and a time signature. Jen Feinson Detour says, no saxophone? Yeah, maybe next week. Maybe I'll get it out next week and play a little sax. Okay, Teresa Sewell says G major. George Ackman says 11. Those are great. Another 11-8 from Mark Sophia. Okay. Wait, so G major, 11-8. Okay. And Joyce Glasgow says 2, 5, 7, 9, and 10. Okay, let's see what that is. 2, 5, 7, 9. So I was thinking we could do it chromatically, right? So let's say C is 1. So 2 would be D flat. Then 5, 7, 9. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 9, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 9, 10. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. How about maybe, shall we rearrange these a little bit to make a melody? Let's see. How about that? How about that? For a theme. And we're going to do this in G and in 11. Okay. Free improvisation, G major, in 11. Here we go. I have to confess something to you. I haven't played an 11 in a long time, and that was slightly loose. I was in 11 probably like 60% of the time, and then I would like float into 5 because I've been playing in 5 a lot, and it's fun playing in time signatures because really they need to feel like second nature for it to feel natural, especially if you're doing free improvisation like I was just doing, and trying to use a theme that Joyce Glasgow gave me. It takes a lot, and I wasn't being totally strict about the 11, but I'm going to practice it. I'm going to practice some more 11. I wrote a song that's on an old trio record of mine. It's called Oxygen. And it's an 11. In that specific 11 that I just played, which is 3 and 3 and 2.5 and 2.5. So it's like 6 plus 5. Let's see, it goes something like this. That's the way the main melody goes, and there's like a whole bunch of other stuff that happens after that, because in those days I was even more into writing long form compositions than I am today. Mike Seitz says, seriously, it's hard to hear 11. It breaks up into 2s and 3s and 4s. It is a tough one. Yeah. You know what? Let me try something else in 11. How about I play a jazz standard in 11? Like, maybe I'll do All the Things You Are. Try that in 11. Hey, here I am practicing in front of you, because why not? Let's do that. Okay, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I think there's something that happens where if something is just hard enough, it kind of takes over your mind and makes you concentrate in a way that where you don't have enough energy to think about anything else. And it's a really special kind of concentration. And somehow trying to play in 11 there in that particular clave of 3 plus 3 plus 2.5, 2.5, really got me in that place just now. So that was really fun. Bob McWilliams says, I remember hearing a great jazz musician saying, but can't remember who it was long ago, but always stuck with me. Technique is like language. Even if you have a vast vocabulary, you still have to tell a story. Well, yeah, exactly. That's true. You have to have something to say. And I think, as far as I'm concerned, the something to say is in the realm of the heart. It's hard to tell the difference sometimes, but I think that something to say is in the realm of the heart. Like, you can play an 11 all day long, but if there's nothing coming from the heart, no innate kind of desire, I don't think it's that much fun to listen to. Paul James Brown says, I love this song so much. It is just one of the all-time best songs, lyrically as well as musically. I don't think Kurt wrote anything better to my ear. I mean, it's definitely amazing music. It's just got this incredibly satisfying harmonic structure to play over, and the melody is really simple in this kind of perfect way. I don't think I completely agree about the lyrics. I don't think they're not some of my favorites. I feel like they're borderline a little corny, but I'm not going to complain too much. But I think that's one reason why instrumentalists play that song all the time, but it doesn't get sung all that much anymore. Not nearly as much as, songs with more interesting lyrics to my ears, like Darn That Dream, for example. Let's see, the lyrics to All the Things You Are, they go, you are the promised kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. I mean, don't get me wrong, the lyrics are really beautifully crafted. I love the sound of the words that he uses. He's a master of that. I think my one objection with the song is that the lyrics are kind of just about one idea. We don't discover anything in the process of hearing the lyrics. There's no story being told. We don't kind of deepen our knowledge of a character or of a situation. It's kind of like, okay, this is how much I like you, and here's another way that I like you. And it's a little bit of a list song, even though it's not really a list song. So anyway, those are my feelings about the lyrics of of the lyrics of All the Things You Are. Frank Geyer says, DT makes me feel a little better about technique. Yeah, I mean, technique is way overrated. You think about somebody like Charlie Hayden. Some people would listen to him and say that he doesn't have a virtuosic bass technique, compared to somebody like Scott LaFaro or Gary Peacock. But actually, technique, this was explained to me by the great Jeffrey Kahane years ago, who's one of the greatest American pianists and conductors. Technique is indistinguishable from what it is that we need to say, what it is that we're saying. In the absence of something to say, there actually is no technique. Technique does not exist on its own, because of course, all that exists are the means to express something. But in the absence of the something that's being expressed, you can't even say what technique is. There's no barometer. I mean, there's nothing there. So if you take someone like Charlie Hayden, what he's trying to say is so incredibly clear, and also you realize that the technique that he's developed to say what he needs to say is so incredibly strong that there's no way you can say that he's not a bassist with great technique. In fact, he has perfect technique for exactly what he wanted to say. Frank Geyer says, I'm sorry, I love the lyrics. Okay, well, you know, I'm not saying I don't like them. They're wonderful. They're just not my favorites. If you compare them to like a song like You Are Too Beautiful, that's a song that I find really amazing. You know, it goes, let's see. Maybe. You are too beautiful, my dear, to be true, and I am a fool for beauty, fooled by a feeling that because I have found you, I could have bound you too. You are too beautiful for one man alone, for one lucky fool to be with. When there are other men with eyes of their own to see with. Oh, love does not stand sharing, not if one cares. Have you been comparing my every kiss to theirs? If on the other hand I'm faithful to you, it's not through a sense of duty. You are too beautiful, and I am a fool. I'm a fool for beauty. Okay, so you may disagree, but to me, those lyrics are fascinating because they're complex. Because it starts with a simple idea, you are too beautiful. And then it goes in all these different directions. We learn more about the person who is too beautiful, the object of this song. We learn more about them. It seems like they are not the type of person who likes to commit. It seems like they, you know, for the time being anyway, aren't interested in being faithful. We learn more about the person singing the song, who seems kind of increasingly desperate as the song goes on. And I think that line, if I'm faithful to you, it's not through a sense of duty, is amazing, because that's a statement in itself about the whole concept of monogamous relationships. Are we faithful because of duty, or are we faithful just because we feel like being faithful? So there are these nuggets of wisdom in there, and they're intriguing, they're complex, and there's a story being told. We learn more and more about these characters as the song unfolds. To me, it really makes me want to listen to it. There's this absolutely unforgettable version recording of it by Sarah Vaughan on Crazy and Mixed Up. That's just an absolute masterpiece of jazz. Highly recommended. Okay. Well, wow. Has it really been an hour and a half? I don't understand how this happens every time. I think I've been playing for like 45 minutes. I just saw the clock. It's 9:30 in Paris, and the first thought in my mind was, oh wow, I've only been playing for half an hour, because somehow I thought I'd started at 9. But then I remembered I've actually been playing for 90 minutes. That's insane. Mike Sight says, I have come to feel like we are a group of friends hanging out with you in your living room. While it is not quite the same as live in person, I've grown quite fond of this medium. So have I. I think it's amazing. I'm so grateful for it. I think I'd be kind of a basket case if I couldn't do this every week, because I love to do this. I love sharing music with people. I love performing. So yeah, I'm so grateful too. Oh, interesting. Steve Cantor says, regarding sense of duty, yes, and it rhymes with the title. So you are too beautiful, sense of duty, beauty. Yeah, well, it rhymes with beauty. Yeah, there's definitely some inner sonorities there that are really nice. Bob McWilliams says, that Sarah is great, but to me that is Johnny Hartman's song. Yeah, I mean, the Johnny Hartman version is great, but to me, maybe it's because I grew up with a record. To me, the Sarah Vaughan version is unsurpassable. I'm sorry. She just makes the lyrics sound so incredibly deep. With Johnny Hartman, it's great, but I'm reminded that he's singing a song. It makes me feel like, oh, here's a person singing a song beautifully. With Sarah's version, I just completely lose myself. I just hear the depth that she puts into each one of those lines, and it just kills me every time. Mark Sophia says, it's only 45 minutes here. Time zones. Yeah, nice. Okay, I should play one more thing for you guys. What am I going to do? Do you have any requests? You've been amazing with requests today. Maybe. I have an idea. You know how it was Sonny Rollins' birthday not very long ago? Oh. Well, what was that? I just saw an interesting comment. Lots of comments going by. Steve Cantor says, sorry, what Sarah album? It's called Crazy and Mixed Up. Amazing album with Sir Roland Hanna on piano. Totally underrated pianist. I mean, the people who know about him know how incredibly great he was, but he's not that famous. And just listen to him on that record, you'll be totally blown away. Unbelievable playing from Roland Hanna. So classy, every note is in its right place. Okay, well, I was just saying, Dina El Sayed says, I would love to hear you play some bossa sometimes, Dan. Joe Henderson's Blue Bossa, Blue Mitchell's Samba de Stacy. Gotta do that sometime. Oh, you know what I could play? By Joe Henderson is Invitation. I don't think I've ever played that on this live stream. That's a really cool song by Joe Henderson. Wait, is that by Joe Henderson? No, that's not by Joe Henderson. I'm thinking of Recorda Me. That's by Joe Henderson. It like reminds me of Invitation. I think I'll play Invitation. That's like a Latin song, and hopefully that'll satisfy your urges for the Latin side of things. Here's Invitation. Yes, Invitation by Tepfer and Washington. That's who wrote Invitation. It's from a movie, actually. Yeah, Bob McWilliams says Invitation, written by Bernie Tepfer. Yes, Tepfer and Washington. Bob McWilliams says, and a great song, all of a sudden, that has shown up on a lot of new jazz releases in a nice variety of interpretations. I didn't realize that. And there's this, as I said, there's this Joe Henderson song called Recordame that always reminds me a lot of this. Joyce Glasgow says, Invitation is haunting, elements of a noir film, a mystery in black and white, a windswept cliff, a woman standing alone in the night, her hair blown by the wind, staring intensely out to sea. What is in her mind? What is the mystery? I always love Joyce's comments, amazing. And yeah, it's true. In the original, which I remember seeing in a movie somewhere, it's almost just like it's like just that little piece of theme, and if I remember right, like nothing else. And then, you know, because at the time they needed to release a song that sounded like a song, they wrote the rest of it. Paul James Brown says, Mahalo Nui Loa Dan, which, please tell me what that means. I know what mahalo means, but I don't know what the rest means. So please tell me, Paul. I know that's in Hawaiian. Yes, when is the next live stream? Well, I'm still figuring that out. I'm trying to do those ticketed live streams once every 2 weeks. And there's a couple people here in Paris that I'm thinking of, and I'll let you know as soon as I know. In the meantime, I'll be back next Monday. I'll be back next Monday at 2 p.m. New York time, 8 p.m. Paris time, just like I was today. And I really look forward to connecting with you again then. Absolute pleasure being with you today. I have to say, you really lifted my spirits. And I look forward to the next time. Big thanks to you all. As I always say, stay healthy and safe, and hope your loved ones stay healthy and safe. And I very much look forward to seeing you next week. All right, take care, you guys.